Here is a fact I have been thinking about lately. We are buying Japanese motorcycles, but ignoring how the Japanese actually ride them. Here is a stat that will wake you up. Japan has one of the lowest motorcycle fatality rates in the developed world, despite having millions of riders packed into dense urban areas. Meanwhile, we are out here stacking bodies at 4 times their rate. I am breaking down 15 specific techniques that Japanese riders learn from day one. These are not feel-good riding tips. These are the exact methods that prevent the crashes that kill most American riders. And here is the kicker. You are probably doing the opposite of at least half of these right now. Let's fix that before you become a statistic. Number 1, through vision. You have heard the phrase, look where you want to go 1,000 times. But Japanese instructors teach something way more specific. They call it through vision. You are not looking at the corner. You are looking through it to where you will be 3 seconds from now. Here is why this matters biologically. Your brain processes visual information and adjusts your body position automatically. When you stare at that guardrail or that patch of gravel, your body steers toward it. It is called target fixation, and it is responsible for a massive chunk of single vehicle crashes. Through vision forces your eyes to track the exit point, which means your hands naturally guide the bike there. The difference is life or death in an emergency. Number 2, scanning zones. Most riders look straight ahead and call it good. Japanese training breaks your visual field into zones, and you systematically sweep through them every 3 to 5 seconds. Near zone, mid zone, far zone, mirrors, blind spots. Repeat. What you are actually looking for are brake lights clustering ahead, cars drifting in lanes, pedestrians at crosswalks, oil patches, debris, anything that changes your risk profile. This is not paranoia. This is data collection. Your brain cannot react to threats it does not see coming. The systematic sweep means nothing sneaks up on you. Number 3, blind spot elimination. Here's what kills riders: trusting mirrors. Mirrors lie. They have blind spots the size of a compact car. Japanese riders do a full head check before every lane change, every merge, every turn. Not a quick glance. A full head rotation puts your chin over your shoulder. Make the head check a habit. This becomes automatic through repetition until it is hardwired. You do it 1,000 times, and suddenly your body will not let you change lanes without that head check. It feels wrong not to do it. That is when the technique saves your life, because you are not thinking about it anymore. You're just doing it. The mistake I see constantly is riders who check their mirrors and think they are clear. Then, they move over and nearly get smoked by a car sitting in their blind spot. Blind spot. Your mirrors show you maybe 60% of what is beside you. That other 40% will put you in the hospital if you don't physically turn your head and look. Vision keeps you alive. Seeing the threat is step 1. Being able to react fast enough is step 2. And that comes down to body position. Body position. Number 4, loose grip. A death grip on the bars is killing your reaction time. Japanese instructors teach the 2-finger rule. 2 fingers on the brake lever, 2 fingers on the clutch. The rest of your hand stays relaxed on the grip. Here is what happens when you strangle the bars. Your forearms tense up. That tension travels through your shoulders and locks up your upper body. Now, when you need to make a quick steering input or an emergency swerve, you are fighting against your own rigid arms. Your bike becomes harder to control, not easier. The loose grip does something else critical. It lets you feel what the bike is doing. You can sense when the front tire is losing traction. You can feel weight transfer during braking. That feedback loop between you and the machine gets cut off when you are white-knuckling it. Relaxed hands mean faster reactions and better control. Period. Number 5, countersteer. Don't wrestle. Your hands initiate the lean, period. Press the bar and the bike drops in. The mistake is trying to muscle the bike with stiff arms. The Japanese fix is lower body control. Lock in with your knees. Brace with your core. Keep your grip light so the bars can do their job. In a real swerve, this is the difference between a sharp snap and go, and a delayed wobble into the door. Here is what is actually happening. The bars initiate the turn, that is, countersteer. Press right, the bike goes right. Press left, the bike goes left. Peg pressure and body position support it by shifting weight and freeing the bike to lean faster and more smoothly. When you wrestle the bars with locked arms, you fight the countersteer input and slow down your response time. When you use your lower body to support the lean and keep your hands relaxed, the bike reacts instantly. Number 6. Weight distribution, the 70-30 rule. Under hard braking, 70% of your weight should be on the front, 40% on the rear. In corners, you are balancing that weight to keep both tires loaded and gripping. The consequences of getting this wrong are clear. You either lock up the rear under braking because there is no weight on it, or you wash out the front in a corner because you're sitting too far back. Both scenarios put you on the ground. Japanese riders practice weight shifts until they are automatic. Braking, weight forward. Accelerating out of a corner, weight back. It is a constant adjustment based on what the bike is doing. Number 7. Chin over tank. This is your emergency body position. When things go sideways, literally or figuratively, you get your chin over the tank and your weight forward. That loads the front tire, gives you maximum steering authority, and keeps the rear from stepping out. I have watched riders panic and sit bolt upright when they hit gravel or start a slide. That is the worst thing you can do. You unload the front, lose steering, and now you are just a passenger. Chin over tank keeps you in control. It feels wrong because your instinct is to sit up and brace, but that instinct will kill you. The Japanese drill this position until it becomes the automatic response to any loss of traction or unexpected situation. Your body defaults to the position that gives you the best chance of recovery. That is not luck. That is training overriding panic. Your body is doing the work now. But physical technique is only half the equation. Let us talk about what your brain should be doing while you are riding. Number 8. Commentary riding. This sounds stupid until you understand the neuroscience. You narrate hazards out loud as you ride. Car at intersection, looking right, not at me. Debris in my lane ahead. SUV drifting left. Here's why this works. When you verbalize a threat, you force your brain to process it consciously instead of letting it slip into background noise. That verbal processing builds a stronger neural pathway between recognition and response. You see the threat faster, and your body reacts quicker because you have already identified and categorized it. Japanese instructors make new riders do this for months until the observation habit sticks. Eventually, you stop saying it out loud, but your brain is still running that same categorization process. You are constantly scanning and labeling threats in real time. The riders who do not do this are the ones who say, "I never saw it coming after a crash." Yeah, because you were not looking. Number 9. Escape route planning. Before you need an out, you already have one mapped. Every single moment you are riding, you know where you can go if the car ahead slams on the brakes or the pickup in the next lane swerves into you. The 2-second rule applies here. You should always have an escape route you can execute within 2 seconds. That is your reaction time, plus the time it takes to actually move the bike. If your only option takes 3 seconds to reach, you are already too late when something goes wrong. What this looks like in practice, you are never boxed in. You position yourself in traffic so there is always a gap you can shoot for. You stay out of blind spots. You maintain a following distance that gives you room to brake or swerve. You are constantly updating your escape plan as traffic changes. This is not defensive riding. This is offensive positioning that keeps you out of situations where you need to defend yourself. Number 10. Risk hierarchy. Not all threats are equal. Japanese training teaches you to categorize risks in real time and respond proportionally. Oncoming traffic in your lane? That is Category 1, an immediate life threat. Pothole ahead? Category 3, a manageable hazard. Here's what kills most riders versus what they worry about. They are terrified of hypothetical mechanical failures while ignoring the SUV driver texting in the next lane. They obsess over gear ratios while failing to notice brake lights ahead. The risk hierarchy forces you to focus on actual threats, not imaginary ones. The hierarchy itself is simple. Category 1 is immediate collision threats. Category 2 is developing hazards that could become threats. Category 3 is minor obstacles. Your brain processes them in order and allocates attention accordingly. You do not waste mental bandwidth on Category 3 stuff when there is a Category 1 threat developing. Number 11. Preloading responses. Mental rehearsal of emergency maneuvers. You visualize the swerve, the hard brake, the low side recovery before you ever need to execute them. This builds muscle memory without the actual practice. The shortcut here is neurological. Your brain does not distinguish much between visualizing an action and actually performing it. The same neural pathways fire. When you mentally rehearse swerving around an obstacle 50 times, your body is halfway to knowing how to do it for real. Then, when the actual emergency hits, you are not starting from zero. You are executing a pattern you have already practiced mentally. Japanese riders spend time before every ride running through scenarios. What if that car pulls out? What if I hit oil in this corner? What if my front tire blows at speed? They visualize the correct response until it is programmed in. That is why they do not freeze when it happens for real. Mental prep is half the battle, but all the visualization in the world does not help if you cannot execute the actual techniques when you need them. Number 12. Progressive braking. You squeeze, you do not grab. The physics here is simple, but most riders ignore it. When you slam on the brakes, you transfer weight to the front tire faster than the suspension can compress and the tire can load. That causes lockup. When you progressively squeeze, you load the tire gradually and maximize available traction. Here's the technique. Initial pressure is light, maybe 20% of the total braking force. Then you ramp up pressure over the next half a second as weight transfers forward and the tire loads. By the time you are at maximum braking, the suspension is compressed, the tire is loaded, and you have maximum grip available. This prevents lockup and gives you the shortest possible stopping distance. The mistake is a panic grab. You see the threat and your hand clamps down. The wheel locks. Now you are sliding and you have zero control. Progressive braking keeps the wheel rolling and keeps you in control. It takes practice, but it is the single most important emergency skill you can learn. Number 13. Throttle steering. Using power to adjust your line mid-corner. This is advanced, but it saves you when you have entered a corner too hot or your line is off. Rolling on the throttle mid-corner stands the bike up slightly and tightens your line. Chopping the throttle makes the bike drop and widens your line. When this saves you, imagine you are mid-corner and realize you are running wide toward the guardrail. Chopping the throttle would stand you up and send you straight into it. Rolling on the throttle drops you deeper into the lean and tightens your arc. You make the corner. Physics explains it because throttle application affects weight distribution and geometry. More throttle puts more weight on the rear. The bike wants to stand up. Less throttle shifts weight forward. The bike wants to drop. The critical part is smooth application. Jerky throttle inputs upset the chassis and break traction. Smooth adjustments let you steer with power without destabilizing the bike. Number 14, counter lean. Separate bike lean from body lean. At low speeds, lean the bike more than your body. Use this for parking lot maneuvers, U-turns, and tight corners. Keep your body more upright while the bike leans aggressively. This drops the center of gravity and makes the bike more maneuverable. At high speeds, lean your body off the bike while the bike stays more upright. That keeps more tire contact patch and lets you brake and accelerate harder while leaned over. Japanese riders practice this until the transition becomes automatic based on speed. You're not thinking about it. Your body just knows what position to take. Number 15, recovery protocol. The exact steps when a slide starts. You have half a second to save it. Step 1, eyes up, look where you want to go. Step 2, smooth throttle, do not chop it. Step 3, countersteer into the slide if it is a rear slide, ease pressure if it is a front slide. What happens in that first half second determines everything. Most riders panic, chop the throttle, lock up, and go down. The recovery protocol overrides panic with a programmed response. Your body executes the steps automatically because you have drilled them. The rear slide is more forgiving. Smooth throttle, countersteer, ride it out. The front slide is sketchy. Ease off brake pressure and pray the tire hooks back up. But either way, the protocol gives you a chance. No protocol, you are on the ground. Pick 3 techniques to master this month, not 15 to forget tomorrow. Trying to implement everything at once means you'll nail nothing. Which 3 are you starting with? Drop a comment and let me know. Hit subscribe for more riding techniques that actually work, rather than theory that sounds good but can get you killed.